Hey everyone, this is Rob from Revelation Rain. I'm actually remaking this video. I put a video up probably a week, 2 weeks ago, talking about Tears on the Wall, and also had mentioned a guy that we thought was going to end up joining the band, but he didn't. So I took that video down. So I'm remaking it. This is the next in the series where I go through and just give some background and history on each of the songs on our two CDs. And this comes off our debut CD, Vengeance is Mine. And again, it's a song called Tears on the Wall. And this is a song that I wrote probably in the late 90s, I would say. It started off with the riff. I knew I wanted something that was hard driving and kind of had a gallop to it. Maybe, along the lines of something like what Iron Maiden would do. But at the same time, I wanted to also give it a feel of not being, I guess drawing more from my own personal influences. So it kind of reminds me of a mix between Love Gun, Tears Are Falling, and I Was Made for Loving You. Those three songs definitely come into play as far as drawing from my influences when writing the music for this song. And then the gallop that kind of comes from maybe Iron Maiden. Lyrically, it was, again, drawing from those same three songs, just that kind of a feel. Not necessarily the lyrical content so much, but just the ambiance of the song. I remember it was one of the songs that when I decided to put a band back together back in 2017, 2018, I think it was, and I've talked about the band that Josh, the guy that played bass, he and I were in this band, and unfortunately it was a band that was doing mostly covers, but we did do a few originals, and Tears on the Wall was one of them. Same thing, fast forward when Josh and I began a new band, and that's when we met up with Grant. That was a song that, even though that band too was also doing mostly covers, the few originals that we were doing included Tears on the Wall. It's just a song that most everybody likes it. I remember even in Grand Rapids, way back in the late 90s, when I first wrote Tears on the Wall, the band that I was in, when I lived in Grand Rapids, we were doing Tears on the Wall even way back then, and it was always a song that people gravitated to. So fast forward to when Grant and I reconnected and put together Revelation Rain. Marty and JT joined the band, and they brought so much to that song. I know that it's one of JT's favorite songs. A lot of times when we would have rehearsal, we would run through the entire set, or sometimes we would just pick random songs and play them. And each of us would take a turn calling out a song. And I would say 99% of the time, JT would call out Tears on the Wall. And if he had already called out Tears on the Wall, if I remember right, it seems like the song that was second on his list was Crown of Thorns. So anyway, Tears on the Wall has always been a song that's in our set. Even if we play an abbreviated set, Tears on the Wall is, I would say, always in the set. We always place it second in the set because it is physically demanding for Grant, the way that the drum parts are structured, and also it's vocally demanding for me, just because there's a lot of words and there's very few breaks, and it's one of those songs where I have to really push myself to hit those higher notes, and it really pushes the boundaries of my abilities, whatever those may be. But for those two reasons, that song is always second in the set. It gives us one song to kind of get warmed up, and then we still have enough energy to get through Tears on the Wall. And plus, it's just a great song to have early in the set anyway, because it's a song that continues the momentum of our opening song, whether it's New Kind of Man or Holy. And it's a song that people instantly gravitate to. It's a song that you may not know the song, but when it starts up and when the band really kicks in, it has a familiarity to it. You know, you're like, I don't know this song, but I feel like I should know it. So anyway, when we went in to record, I don't recall, any changes or anything significant that we did to the song. Oh, other than when I originally wrote the song, when it goes into the bridge part where it says, I know you lie, girl, originally what would happen is the backing vocals would just repeat that, I know you lie, girl. But Marty made a slight change and it made more sense. So when we get to that part, I say, I know you lie, girl. And Marty takes the second line and just changes it slightly to, he knows you lie, girl. Which is, I think, makes more sense anyway. It shifted back to, the point of view of the person singing, in this case me, the lead singer. It shifts the focus back to the lead singer of that song. So, slight change, but just one of those things that makes more sense. Other than that, the song pretty much remains as I wrote it. One of my favorite songs, I know I say that quite often, but that one definitely is like at the very top of my list because it's so much energy, great music, great changes, great lyrics. The hand of God was on me when I wrote that because it just seems like everything lined up perfectly. So that's the history. Like I said, it's a pretty straightforward song, nothing real complex, but it's got a good arrangement, a very good arrangement. And lyrically, it's another song about a relationship gone awry. But even though it has that lyrical content, it still is just one of our heavier songs. And it's a song that we knew we wanted to have on our debut CD. And as far as the placement on the CD, again, speaking in terms of vinyl albums, it is track 2, side 2. And so it continues the momentum set by the first track on side 2, which is Can't Forgive What I Can't Forget. But it also has that commercial crossover appeal, which correlates to side 1, track 2, which was our first single, Taste of Tomorrow. So it kind of fulfills two purposes. And Tears on the Wall is a song that it's a song that, like I said, people gravitate to, and without even much promotion, Rocks 100, which is a radio station here in Michigan, they have a request. You can go to their website and request songs by local bands. And I remember it was so cool. Right after, or soon after, the debut record came out, without much promotion at all, Tears on the Wall made the top 5 for Rocks 100, which was just phenomenal. It was great because, one, because like I said, there was hardly any promotion behind it. 2, it validated just how great that song is. But 3, we had been trying to set up an interview with the host of Rocks 100. He does a talk show where he talks to bands and helps promote their stuff and plays their tunes and whatever else. And he wouldn't return our calls, wouldn't return our emails. And finally, he'd reached out to me and emailed me and said that he didn't feel that we would be right for their format. And I asked, well, why is that? And he said, well, because you guys are a Christian rock band. Which we all kind of suspected that. And I said, well, what does that have to do with anything? And he goes, well, have you ever listened to the show? And I said, yes. He goes, well, it gets a little raunchy at times. And yeah, even though I may not agree with that, why you need to be that way is beyond me. But if that's what you do, that's what you do. But even, we're Christians, yes, but we're not isolated. Okay, we understand that not everybody subscribes to the conduct and composure that we have. So to not have us on his show strictly because we were a Christian and he felt our sensitive little Christian ears might not be able to handle his limited vocabulary, apparently, he wouldn't have us on the show. But the funny thing is, he had to acknowledge, hey, we made your top 5. So I just thought it was like poetic justice. It was divine intervention. So works for me. He still won't have us on his show, even though like I said, we made the top 5. We were number 4 with Tears on the Wall. And then, to top it all off, and I said this probably in the video I made for Taste of Tomorrow, same radio station, Rocks 100, they do their top 20 for local bands. And again, we were on hiatus we've been on hiatus for about 4 months probably, maybe 5. July 3rd was our last show. So we weren't playing shows, we weren't doing much of anything. We weren't out promoting anything, not even the single from the first album. But I probably told this already, but yet Taste of Tomorrow made the top 20 3 weeks in a row. And then for whatever reason, they stopped doing it. So I just find it to be fitting that the radio station, whatever, that won't play us because we're a Christian twice, we've made his charts. So it works for me. So anyway, Tears on the Wall. Great song. Always in the live set. We knew it was going to be on the first album, and we knew that it was going to be one of the singles. But we never really put a whole lot behind it because by the time we had promoted Taste of Tomorrow and a couple of other songs, by the time we were finally ready to kind of put some promotion behind Tears on the Wall, we were already in the studio recording our second album. So, like I said, not much promotion behind that song, but yet it kind of carried its own weight. More than carried its own weight. So anyway, that's the story and the history and all that behind Tears on the Wall. I'm going to make another video here in just a moment. Got some big news, so if you haven't watched it already, watch the other video that is being made on this same day. All right, guys, take care, and God bless.